Mm.
Yo, people, when is the game come? Still a long way away from that, man. Still a long way away from that. Can you guys all hear me correctly? Hear me nicely? Cool, let's get it. Hey, Shrujan. Shrujan, yeah? If I'm pronouncing it right, yeah. I'm good, man. How are you? Bit tired today. But we move. Okay, so Dad has done some work on the camera. Oof. Does not work in my favor. I'm just gonna... Yeah, man, it's on. Yo, Pegasus, man, how are you doing, man? Which is zero compiling. That's not I wouldn't be fine right now. I've got to redo all this shit again. Oh, because just work on the arcade settings. So we just say around. Throw out a couple of sets. Oh, so compile. Okay, so I can speak again. Hallelujah. Oh God. So preferred angles. The preferred angle for, I guess, this is 45 because we want to go from. So if we're moving, we'll be like this, rather than like this. So 45, I guess. That's for the Y. 45 for the Y. Zero for the X. What if it is 90 for the Z? Yeah. In that way, when we move to something, it's gonna be like, oh, I want to. Oh, what he's gonna want to put its arm up first. So basically, when we these preferred angles are basically how the IK solver like what it's gonna want to do first. So when you're reaching like this, it's gonna like want to lift its arm to 45 degrees first. That gives it more of a bend in the elbow. That's probably a bit much if I'm honest. Because if we're like here, that's good. Then you like raise your hand up. Really, if you want to raise your hand up, you wanna like lift up, not bend up like that. So maybe drop this to something like I don't know, 30. This is unfolded like that. Um, that's all right. Okay. See how so it goes like that. Problem is the lower arm is rotated all terribly wrong. So it's like popping inwards and crap like that. So we gotta fix that. Um so yeah, let's do that. Ninety percent. Yeah, the problem here is I want a bend in the arm when it's doing this. I mean, although it doesn't really need to, but see how it's bending like inversely. It's like going like this. I want like that instead. The arm. Dude, that's a lower arm thing. So let me add that. Because if we said what rotational speed one. Okay, now let's say lower. Let's go back in here. Get a lower arm. The Z is how it's like the forward movement. Really, we don't want to. You're gonna actually. Its minimum is 0, and the maximum is going to be. Right. Yeah, so we're thinking about having something similar to that. The maximum is going to be 80. And the maximum is going to be 90. Yeah, so we're thinking about having something cool. Like I think it'd be cool to have some kind of change in locomotion when going uphill to really accentuate the fact you're going uphill. At the moment it looks good, but I think it'd be cool to have like a climb or something like that would be really cool. So this Z here, the minimum's got to be 0 and the maximum has got to be 80, and then we'll limit that. There you go, nice. So now it's locked. It doesn't do the stupid annoying. See what I mean? So now, because now the arm, so much better. The arm can't, because we're locking the rotation. The minimum it can go is 0 and the maximum now it can go is 90. So now if I pull the arm in, that's not correct. What's going on there? Oh no, that is correct. It's going like this. Because if I pull it out, yeah, that is correct technically. That is correct. Yeah, so if I put the arm in, max it can go, it's at 90. And then any time it wants to go any beyond that, it'll move the arm out because it can't do it. And then it snaps like a weird. No, that's not possible with IK. IK, you'll get some pretty bad behavior if you do that. You really want to just use IK to complement your animations. So the problem I'm having here is like this thing here. It's gonna be like this. Whereas I mean, I'll see how it looks, you know. I'll have a play around and see how it looks, but that's not the behavior I really want. I want it to be more like this, like arm down, this up. And I think that's because of this preferred angle here. So if I go back to 0. Yeah, it does do it. Do you mean? So that actually does behave how I'd want it to. With arm down, that up. Now the only thing I need to now do, however, is maybe 30 was too much. Maybe like 10. Nope. 5. There we go. So now it prefers just a little bit. There you go. Now if I go forward, oh, that looks really good. That's the kind of movement I want. So it's like if I come out, let's just stretch out. That's fine. If I come, then that's fine because we're at the maximum range. Now if I bring it in, the arm should come down. Do you see? So now it comes down like this rather than before it was like this. Now it comes like this because we said the preferred angle of the rotation of the shoulder before it was 30, so it was like here, so you go like this because it was like I'll go from here then solve. Whereas now we said it's 10, so it's gonna go. I'll go from here then solve. So it's gonna be more like a second. So now if I go out, that's quite nice. You mean say if I have something down here, that's really nice actually. There's some nice, really nice behavior. Some really, really nice behavior. That works. I wasn't expecting it to work so good. And now that we can swing the arms, that's really nice. And then I can't go in. Ooh, we need to limit this. Oh, if I go up here, watch. So now if I go up, see how it goes from being like this to like that. So like so if you're gonna grab something, you're gonna go like that, and you'll do a rotation of the shoulder, which is accurate. So you see here, the shoulder starts to rotate. So if I come from down here, sorry. So if I go from like down here, I go up. See how it like bends the arm? So the arm's bent. Now if I start to bring it up further, it'll bring the arm up to go. So if it's just out, forward, nice. But if I bring it up, it's gonna bring this up with it. So now it'll be like this. So if the point's high, I'll be like, whoa. And I'll be like pushing like this. That's probably even a bit much if the point's Because we're tracing from the shoulders, to be honest. That's probably even... But the point will be like... Normally the point of contact will be around here. I anticipate it'll be like this. We're tracing from the shoulders. Oh. That's the kind of behavior I want the arm to have. So it's quite good. That's actually really good. I was expecting it to behave so well. Let's do some of the other stuff. Now the forearm, the X rotation. Upper arm, sorry, lower arm. You only want to let it rotate 20. Say 10 degrees that way. Degrees the other way, really. Other than that, we don't really want it to be free because we don't want it to freely rotate. Let's say -10 and 10. I think that's really what it should be. And by limiting all these rotations, we can, you see how the arm move. We just basically fine-tune how we want our body to move. I presume we're gonna have to limit all the rotations for all the arm chain joints. I don't have a pulse limiter and whatnot, but yeah, it's good so far, to be honest. Ignore the hand. The hands will rotate to the given point. And then in the Y, if you look here, this again is like you don't want it to rotate up. Like that isn't a movement. Do you see what I mean? Like you'd never be like this. I'm trying to show you with the camera. You'd never be like this and then go like that. Like I can't do it. You can't actually do it. You'd bend your arm instead and that stays. So rather than having that bend, if you see in here, this bend, like we can say we can have that, but see that's just realistic. Really, you want that to be stiff, almost locked in place. You want that to literally pretty much almost be locked in place. And this, like it's not moving like that way, like this, it's not moving up and down there. Your arm can't do that. What your arm is not doing this. Your arm is moving at its elbow. It stays in this constant chain bit. It's not like there. So you want to lock the y-axis to do this. Look, there you go. So now it's so much more realistic. And see how that looks good. Like if you were to touch, you go point out to go touch that point. That's how you would do it. You'd be like this. You know, if that point's there, you'd be like that, that's realistic. Okay, cool. Let us. Okay, now we can use some preferred angles as well now to get that desired effect we want. Because we're saying how, so on the Z here, this elbow rotation basically, it can go to a maximum of 80. Now, if we want to have more elbow rotation, so it'd be like when you're going to reach something, I want more of a bend. So say if I'm touching something here, if I want to prioritize a bend, you know what I'm saying, you can have that by using these preferred angles. Let's do it. Let's just give it like a little bit of a bend. Let's give it a bend of what? Okay, so your is this, which is all that really moves. You don't go like this. You move your arm if you want to move up and down. You don't really move this bit up and down. And then roll is this. Basically, if you want to touch something, you'd be like that. But you don't roll much. You like 10 degrees each side. So roll can stay at 0, and then the yaw, which is the most important one, I say 45. See, now it has more of a bend in the elbow, like it prioritizes a bend. So now if you want to touch up, move through there, up. Yeah, that's so much better. So now rather than it's going to go like that. 45 is quite good actually. 45 is really good actually. That behaves really, really nicely. That's obviously a problem that we need to, let's address that right now. I'm trying to think what's causing it. I think that is obviously the upper arm rotation. But it will never actually go to that point over there because the trace will never be like that. The trace is only forward. So the arm will only ever... And then, well, it does, it's within a radius actually. So the arm can go to like here or like here. But nothing ever crazy. It's like, the radius is like 50, so it'd be like, yeah. That's where the arm can move to. Yeah, I think we need to limit this upper arm. Yeah, I think we need to limit this upper arm. Because when we have like a slight rotation like this, and it's up like this, 130 degrees here is too much. Do you see what I mean? So if I give like, if the rotation of this is like too much, and then we rotate like this, 130, that's how you get that. Yes, that's too much. We don't want to be doing that. We want to be like this instead. So let's drop that to 100. And that was the... Yeah, 130 is way too much. It's like 100. Ooh. So now if I try and pull across, yeah, there's less. Yeah, I think, you know, to be honest, I actually think there's a different bone that we should concern ourselves with. Because it shouldn't be able to do that. But there's a bone there that's behaving a certain way. It's behaving a certain way that it's just not the one. Okay, let's Hey Noma, how you doing, man? We're just experimenting with these bone sets for the hands. It's weird doing the foot IK and failing for so long. It's probably made this so much quicker because now I understand all the settings. So I would just basically be going through the upper arm, the lower arm, and I'll do the hand as well. But like, yeah, the upper arm setting, the lower arm setting, and the clavicle setting, which is how much you get at. But yeah, so because I understand that, I'm able to like sculpt this a lot better. It looks like it's like the arm now behaves really well, that right arm. Even if it goes too high, it starts to raise the elbow. Because if you're here, it raises the elbow, which is all correct. You know, if I bring it up, yeah, it should. So at the moment I've got the clavicle just stationary so I can work on the arm. So here here we can lift the shoulder and things. But it's like, it's just here. Here, let's see. Oh, that clothing looks really cool. Let's do the same for the left and let's see if we get Put ourselves in a nice, pretty position. I'm gonna lock the moment, but I'll come back to that. So we got clavicle, left, don't move, close you. Then we got upper arm. Yeah, so it's like it's well, at the moment the clavicle can move of the left arm. I haven't done any of the left arm stuff. So I mean, if I but yeah, I guess it's that. Jimmy, it's like if you reach up, you can be like squeeze your body like that, or if you're coming across, you'll like But you could, we'll have to tweak all this stuff here. Let's see, upper arm, left. Minus 50, 50, minus 30, 100, 60, 100. Five degrees of the wire. So we got minus 10, 10, locked, 0, 80, 45, I think. Yeah. Minus 10, 10, 0, 80, 45. So let's check this out. Yeah, that'd be about right. Now let's move. Hey, I have, yes. So basically, I'm doing my thesis on the effects of naturally mapped gamepads on like spatial presence and stuff like that. So I'm basically making a little parkour system. Because the idea of it being novel is like it's not been done before. So I was like, oh, the novel aspect is like naturally mapping the gamepad. So yeah, naturally map the gamepad. So like recreate the parkour moves on the gamepad. But also you're looking at realism and like interactivity. So how responsive is the character? Does the character movement look realistic? And all this stuff plays into the feeling of spatial presence. And then you'll get some testing to get a user to play one system that isn't naturally mapped to one that is naturally mapped and see what are the differences. Ideally you get them being like, oh, the one that had a naturally map felt more realistic. I felt like I was doing the actual move, blah 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 blah. That's what it's on very much. I've done my literature review, got all the research supporting that naturally mapped controllers improve spatial presence and interactivity and all that stuff. I'm now designing it, so I'm just designing like the blend spaces for the locomotion, Then other side, design the blending for that parkour, which is it's pretty much 90% of what I've done already. And then I'll design the unnaturally mapped character, which will just be button presses like every other parkour game apparently. But it's the same character system. I don't know, to be honest. I think it'd be quite interesting actually, because there's like, when I say there's no research on like gamepad mapping, there is literally no research on gamepad mapping. Like, it's quite interesting. I think there's a lot of more. If I'm publishing it, I probably need to do a lot, like my literature review, I need to do more so, because I've kind of just proven my point and then moved off, because I want to focus on my design and everything else. And I've also got other coursework. But he did speak to me about, my supervisor spoke to me about publishing it. And I was like, if that is the case, give me time to like really solidify, like almost redo my literature review, to make, not redo, but like, because I also like, because it's a project, you could like talk about how you've changed and the scope has changed. So I was like initially on the animation side and talk about motion synthesis and motion matching and crap. And then I was like, I'm going to shift towards the focus being more towards naturally mapped controllers, while still implementing some motion synthesis in order to retain realism, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's getting long. But so the other, I'm gonna have to stop. I got a rugby tomorrow. I got a game tomorrow, but I'm gonna have to stop after that because I don't have time. It's I'm struggling time wise. I'm not. I tell you what, I'm not jealous of you. That's one thing I'm not jealous of. Wait. See, so if there was a wall there, that's how he'd hold the wall. When the hands would be rotated up. That's correct. Nice. Let's test that out. There's only one way to know. Yeah, most people don't. Most people don't publish from masters. He mentioned it because I'm a practitioner in the field technically, because I'm obviously working on the game. So it's like your input is validated. I don't know. That's what he says. Like, because you're actually working on something and using it, it's actually worth knowing rather than just people that just use it for the sake of it. But I was like, okay, still, but yeah, a lot of work still. It's pretty crowded. A lot of work to do. I'm hoping to. I got an exam, but once I've done that exam, basically the way my year worked, I had like a choice to do like this option. One of your modules you have to do, either first semester or second semester. I chose to do it first semester. Best decision I made, because now I've only got. But I've got a group project with basically this ATOS challenge. We have to create some application for a challenge. The winner gets 10k or something for that. So with my group, we came up with it. I say me and one other person. The rest of them are pretty used, but we came up with an idea to track like marine pollution, and then represent it on like a really like visual and interactive app, so you can like go back in time and see how it's changed. And then I'm making, so my part in it, which is the only hub, is I'm making like a CNN to detect instances and classify the marine pollution using like satellite imagery. So it's a lot of fun, to be fair. I say it's a lot of fun. It sounds like a lot of fun, but yeah, I'll crack on with that. So I'm going to stop rugby so I have time to do to do all this stuff. As much as I love it, I just don't have time. Avoid what? Submission, publishing. Is that what you mean? Yeah, honestly. Yeah, it's not that's not my priority, Tifo. Uh, yeah, it's I just want to get it done. like, I honestly, I did this masters because my course was an integrated masters, but I didn't know I'd be working on SPP. So if I knew, I I just wouldn't have done it because it's weird. Like, academia is interesting because um, it's almost like I'm paying money for someone just to assess what I already know rather than teaching me more things, if that makes sense. So like I wouldn't mind it so much if I was learning, do you mean? But I'm not learning. I'm just like, I guess learning in a sense you're creating something, but I was like, when you create something for someone else's validation, it takes away from the creative process. Like, but I like obviously you make a lot for other people's art publishing. Yeah, nah, yeah, that's not my focus. But I appreciate that advice though. But yeah, when you create something for someone else's like improvement, and you have to tick check boxes, and you have to like with this, there's a lot of creative freedom in this, and what you can like really like dive into it deep. But for me, it's like there'll be aspects of my project that I'm interested in, but he's like, no, you can't spend all your time on that because it's like I want to see your user testing and all that. I'm like, oh, do you mean it's because it's still they have criteria they're marking, whereas you can't just make what you love. And I don't know, like this master's year, I haven't learned anything. If I'm brutally honest with you, I have not learned anything. I did one module where I had to basically sit on the exam, sit on the course and create like assessment pieces. So basically, if you wanted to become a lecturer or whatever, to prep you for that. But I was like, the module I did was fine. I guess that was the only time I learned stuff. But it was on like HCI and like UX basically. And like I don't know, it's like I've learned so much more from working real time than in real life, from like UX and how things works and just individual research than you would from a lecture. Like an hour lecture compared to an hour of your own research where it's targeted to what you enjoy, you're gonna learn more. I genuinely believe that. Like honestly. Like I was always like, when it came to animation, there's a really good book by Rick Parent, which is like algorithms and techniques for computer animation. I've just ordered another copy because I had to give it back to the library. But that literally covers it covers like locomotion, IK, everything, like all the animating processes, the mathematical functions, quaternion rotation, scalar, multiple, all that stuff. So I want to read that again because I'm refreshing my memory on it. So, but I was like, that was literally one of the modules, my computer animation module. Like, it was from that book, and I was like, I was just reading the book, and I was like, I didn't go to the lectures, if I'm honest, because I was just reading the book because I was interested in the book and interested in the stuff. And I was like, man, I spent a week reading this book, and I learned more than the entire like 7-8 weeks of this lecture module because I was actually interested in. And I was like, damn, like. Your time is so targeted to these specific things, whereas if you just don't restrict yourself, your knowledge can actually grow. But again, it's also useful. Like I don't know, it's a whole experience. Yeah, I think I've learned a degree is not the biggest quantification of your knowledge. It's like helped me learn, but I've learned more in the last almost a year, in the couple like 8-9 months I worked in a store, Parkour Pro, than I have in the last probably year. Honestly, in terms of good programming practice, like the end of my entire degree, if I'm totally honest, in terms of how to really code and code well and like code to be optimized. I can't complain. I'm also fortunate enough to be in a position where I can have higher education, do you know what I mean? So I can't sit here and take it for granted, you know what I mean? So, because there's a lot of people that would love the opportunity to do so. So, yeah. So that was an absolute tangent rant. You're getting out once the PhD is done, yeah. I also respect like PhDs and like doctorates and all that because there's a level of dedication that takes that to really like master your craft, and, master your field. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to like advancing the field, those are the people that do it. You know, those advance the field in a more technological way. Yeah, it's basically a guide. 100%. 100%. I just don't like the validation that you need. Like, it's almost like, it's like when you ask for a job, it's like, have you read the how-to? Do you know what I mean? It's like, and if you say yeah, but they're like, yeah, but like, how do I know you've read the how-to? Someone with a degree, I know they've read the how-to. Do you know what I mean? Whereas it's like, it's like, I don't know, I mean, and less so now, I guess, in this new age. It's less so of a validatory thing for your, ability. But people still, and employers still deem that as a very, very important thing. Which is different because I think, which is one thing I really like working with Dado, because when I interviewed for this, it wasn't even about like how much do you know? Do you know what I mean? It was more so about like how much do you want to know, how interested and how passionate you are in the topic. Like, and it's so rare to find that. Like, you rarely see that. And obviously I knew my stuff. I knew about animating, I knew about AI and all that crap. But it was like, I think the focus of the whole thing was like, how passionate and how much do you want to know more than anything? Like, because I'm not the world's most experienced game programmer, or game designer. I'm really not. If I had no experience, apart from I had my project making a VR simulation. So I had a year's worth of experience with Unreal, but nothing crazy like some people would have. But it was just, I just wanted to know, like I had an interest in it, and that, when you really think about, supersedes like immediate knowledge, because if you want to know more beyond someone that doesn't really care, that gap will grow. But I gotta change this camera. I'm so sorry, Dado. Camera's screwing me up. I don't even, how do I move the camera again? Ain't it like, how do you move the camera again? I don't remember. I know zoom it out. Ooh, that's a nice change. He's to be fair, he is working on transitions. But for now, I'm just gonna quickly just, okay. Yeah, man, you're right. 100%. 100%. 100%. This camera is bugging me. I can't I can't zoom out. So I can't really. We'll just do it like this, I guess. Yo, that's nice. Oh, I can't even see it properly. I can't really appreciate the goodness of it. That looks really good though. Oh damn. That looks really good. I need to fix this camera. um Dado, if you're here, help me. What's he done with the camera? I don't know what he's done. I don't know which camera is using what now. What was it? I think the music just had a knock, but I thought it was someone knocking at my door. There's a song that literally did. Okay, so I'll tell you a story. I was one time in our computer science lab in the university, and it was late night because I'm a late night person. This is the third year. I'm working on my final year project. It's like, honestly, it's so late at night. It's like 3 a.m. Honestly, fix the camera. It's like 3 a.m. in like at night in the morning. Um, it's pitch black. I'm like it's me alone in Hazelgrave. Um, the whole building dead quiet. My little section, I'm in this little room. There's like glass, there's like windows all around the outside. Not around the outside, but like there's like a window, there's a wall and then a window bit, all around. And I was like, oh, just chilling, whatever. Just like, but like I'm doing it and there's a window there and it's like pitch black outside, can't see nothing. Next thing you know, this song plays and it's like, I'm like, bear in mind, you know when you're zoned out, so you're not like focused on anything. The loudest not in the song, the end of the song goes like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, just not prepared for it. I just forgot about that part. Listening to it, it goes boom, 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 boom. I was like, bear in mind, I'm pitch black. I'm on my own. I'm like looking around thinking someone's literally like, yo. Like I was like scared the absolute shit out of me. Yeah, honestly, scared the shit out of me. Was so scared, terrified. I was like, what the? That's my story. That's pretty much it. Also, as a little heads up, on Monday, on Monday, Norma, you may be interested in this. I've got so I'm doing another like one of those you know when we did that podcast episode a while ago and we kind of didn't have time to do it. So I'm doing another one. I just could, why not? Doing another one with someone I know. Yeah, it's really popular, isn't it? It's cool. I like it when they do it. That interp is really slow. That looks quite nice. Bless me. Bless me. Bless me. Bless me. Yeah, so Monday at 2 p.m. we're gonna do I can't see it. I can't see its behavior. Oh my god, honestly. Okay, I need to get that on there. Oh, that look quite nice though. Yeah, so Monday at 2 p.m. I'm doing a podcast, just stream, just a chat really, with a friend of mine. Well, a friend of mine my brother worked for him, and I got to know him. Lovely guy, Adam Randall. He works at a VR firm in London. They make like VR simulations for like airlines to like show high class, or like VR simulations for like development projects and stuff. But they use Unreal as well. So I was like, oh well, you work in Unreal, I work in Unreal, both work in dev. I was like, yeah, let's have a little podcast, just chatting about tech, development, Unreal, anything really, metaverse, all that, whatever. And yeah, I just think he's worked in VR for quite a while, so VR's coming up, especially with like metaverse and everything like that. So I thought it'd be cool and interesting chat. So yeah, I'll be streaming that at 2 p.m. on Monday. I'll put a link and everything in Discord. But yeah, looking forward to that. Let me message Dado so I can understand how to fix. Oh, Dado's typing. Oh, here we go. I changed that person camera and character. I literally just messaged. Speak of the devil. Okay. Change was how do I? Or do I need to go into the code and change the one it's using? Or is it this thing? Not a clue. Oh, is this camera? This is the one we're using. Oh, I see, I see. Oh, see, I moved this one. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, okay, cool. Nothing done. Okay, yeah, got you now. Yeah, I got it now. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Why are you doing this to me? Oh my goodness. Hold up. Bring you down. Okay, that'll work. Let's see how this behaves. All I'm really focused about, I know the interpolation is going to suck. See, what I was really focused about was um the elbows inside. That looks quite good. Although the behavior of this is kind of weird. That's like inversely. Left hand, that's perfect. The right hand, not so much. It's the right hand's like behaving oppositely. Oh, it might be because the axes. That's behaving right. Hey Guns, how you doing, man? Yeah, this right hand is having a nightmare. Although that is okay, maybe yeah, definitely some problems there. Yeah, that's not correct. Yeah, some definite problems going on there. That's for sure. It's been better. It's been the hand stuff has been better. The rotation of the hand is all wrong. Um, it's weird. Like 1 minute it's like not terrible, but the next is like oof. Um, okay, hold on. There's a couple things you need to fix. First fix is the left hand is good. The right hand is just absolutely tragic. Like that is good. Obviously, the hand needs to be rotated better, but that's quite nice. And then we turn. That snaps way too quickly. That's just not correct. That's hmm. That the right hand is definitely buggy a bit. And that's some weird behaviors. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drop this capsule radius for now because it's way too big. I'm gonna drop it so that it's just a line. And then we can, because I was trying to account for a load of different thingies, but let's drop this. So 0.1. Yeah, so it's just a line. We have a lovely little line trace. I know, that was some scary stuff there. You don't annoy me now. Don't do this to me now. Am I losing my mind? I swear to God, this literally just worked. So if I go radius 50, which it was before, and play, I must be losing my mind. Oh, maybe the line trace isn't far enough. That's probably what it is, to be honest. 0.1. Just 1 just to see the endpoint. So maybe it's not. Let's just go like. Let's just go 100. You know, that's way too much. It is way too much. Let's go like 700. Nope. Am I also now stupid 70? Where'd the interp go? Where did the interp go? Someone tell me that. We gotta fix that interp. There is some rotation problems. That looks okay. Yeah, I wouldn't do that because of the capsule thing. Okay, hold on. Let's play around with this. It's like super slow, just like just taps the wall. Oh, it's gonna be a long one. Hand IK, why'd you gotta do this to me? Okay, now it should. Why are you not hitting? Oh, there you go. So first of all, the interp is way too slow. That doesn't even look terrible. Like that is actually quite good. Wait, I need to pull the camera out. Hold up, wait a minute. You, Mr. Camera, need to first of all, don't like how you're positioned. Secondly, you need to calm down a bit. Thirdly, you need to go way further back. Okay, there you go. So walk up. When he leans in, the other hand comes up. That looks quite nice. That looks quite good. Definitely have a bigger radius, to be honest. See you later, Noma. Cheers for joining, man. Had a good conversation. So once it does that first intake, it doesn't do it again. It's quite good though. Let's bump the trace. Scale. It's like 10. Because it seemed like the scale of the trace is what's causing some problems. So there's now you got this little bit that you can go towards. Let's check this out. It's actually pretty good. I'm like holding it in, and it's just like, no, you can't go any further. I'm like, fine, but now I need that come away. It's too quick. What in the? That is some scary looking stuff. Actually looks alright. It doesn't look. I thought it looked so much worse. That looks okay. Now let's sort this intake because can't really know how the behavior are if it's just going boom straight there. It looks terrible regardless. Dum, 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 dum. Man, yeah, it's weird. The HUD stuff. It's like, how do I explain it? It's not even. It's tedious. I think that's what it is. Yeah, the widget UI. It's just really tedious. Do you know what I mean? You'll know what I mean. It's just so tedious. It's like every function you bind this to a function. It's just so tedious. It's a real tedious process that just always takes a lot of time. So when I was doing, hey Zenon man, how you doing? How are you doing? Yeah, it's a really long, tedious process. More than anything, really. It's just annoyingly tedious. But hey ho, what can you do? Gotta work with it, man. Wait till you have to do gamepad integration. And you're like, how the hell does Unreal not have that incorporated into it? And you're crying your eyes to sleep. Not really. It's actually right. If you want to see the code, I could just send it to you. Honestly, honestly, like you have to if you want, say, a max score widget that has the max score, and you have separate set like the functionality, you then have to create a widget in that cast to max score. It's like what? Like what? Oh, honestly, it's crazy. But it is. Just good to hear, Senna, man. Good to hear. I've got a lump in my arm. Although it was in my bone. No, it's not. I took a hit, and I think I've got a hematoma in my right bicep. It's like a hard bit. It used to really hurt. It doesn't hurt anymore. But yeah, now it's like just really hard. And that's not me saying that my arms are. It's just like it's actually like a really hard lump, you know. What were we saying? We're saying lovely, lovely intern, isn't it? Yeah, this hit normal crap needs to go away. We're using that for the rotation, but it needs to disappear. It needs to just vanish. Nish vanisho. Yeah, I will do. 100%. 100%. Tiger Balm. Yeah, I do need a massage for it, to be honest. I'll tell you what. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's I took it from a hit in rugby. Like it was not there before they got the hit, it was there. So I know it's that. I appreciate that though. This stupid thing here. It's like that's why, because we set it to the target location. And then we just snap to it because it's so far away, I guess. Set left-hand current location. Yeah, that's correct. And then we interp between that and the target location. Let's drop this to 1. It's just the fact that it then just snaps every time after that is what's really although that won't work. Interp between the target location. Because the way it moves, it's like if your current location is here, it's gonna go like this, and then interp like that. Yeah, it's gonna go like that really weird slow crap. Whereas you need like something a bit more snappy, more snapping, and a pep in its step. It needs to be like a whoa. I need that. I need to move it. It needs to move quicker, basically. It's just moving too slowly. Let's go to 1 and let's just see how it behaves. But the whole it's doing it, then it just becomes super snappy. There's a problem there. See, that is what I mean. So why then? So it sets target location. Left-hand current location. We said that IP the incoming clips. You know what I mean? What if I do this? I go to hand. Yeah, no, that cumulative loop sucks. Can't lie. It never ever works. Pretty sucky. I also think one thing I might not be doing. No, because it's always active, yeah. No, hold up, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. Because in here, I was going to say in the anagraph, yeah, that's always true. So that's always doing its thing. We do this. Might need to blend that in. There are. Oh, it's just the first character we made. It's just no specific reason. So this is doing it correctly. Only thing, maybe that interrupt is too quick. Let's make it absolutely slow as hell. It's gonna take. Hey, it's excessive. I know 50 is a bit excessive. Take 50 seconds to do it, but you know, we're trying to debug. It's too big. Let's take 5. So stupid. It's vice versa. I'm stupid. The smaller the value, I think the slower it goes. I think, pretty sure that's the case. We'll figure that out now. Rotation of the hand also is an interrupt, which doesn't help. So it rotates and then goes. Yeah, you know what? Hold up. Let's just eliminate this hand rotation because that's not interrupt at all. So what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, let's do the hand rotation. I only did it for one. Let's do the hand rotation. This I need to change because he uses normals and it's just whenever you use a normal, it's just it's not going to be any good. So basically, it's the interpolation between scenes and values that's getting on my nerves. First, we gotta check out how we set. Oh, I'm so stupid. 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 I know why the snapping thing's happening. Because I don't set the left-hand current location again to the target location. That's why. That is why. So when it comes back, just go bang. I think. Hey, yo, who knows, man? Should I need to do that? That's the thing. I don't feel like I should need to do that. Because then we just set it again from the hand, which just then get set to the target location. I don't think I should need to do this. Let's see how it behaves. I don't think I need to do it. I should have to do this. I don't think it's going to behave how I'm wanting it to. I think I'm still going to have the exact same problems. If I'm quite honest. Yeah. Yeah, so when I was doing those values, I was setting like the rotation values. And so I went in here and I was like, okay, so when I set like the value to 50, I was like, okay, how much does it rotate? I was like, humans, we could probably rotate like really realistically, how high are you gonna be able to? Probably like that. It's reasonable for most people. I mean, I guess you could do that, but that's a bit much. Like this actual bone here is not at that point. Then it comes to like a lean of the body. So really, I want him to go as high as there. Really. Same with this. Like, look at this. I don't want him to go like this. Really, wouldn't look any nice. So at most there. Same 0. I set 0 because I don't want him to go past that point there. So you just, yeah, I just was in here looking at what looks realistic, what doesn't. Like, you know, and then just setting these values based on that angle. Basically, that's what I was doing. Where I got those numbers from. This doesn't behave how I wanted it to, which I thought it would. You know, let's rewind, reattack this. But let's think about this. So this is all gonna have to go. This whole dot, this is gonna have to go. So is this. Just accumulate that. So we get the pose. This is the you know, that's the problem. Because yeah, it makes sense. It's because we're deforming the animation so much. So basically the problem that we're having is because this hand on the wall is totally like IK generated. The pose is, the hands are still walking. The pose itself, the hands are still like down here by its waist. The IK is taking it up there. Do you see what I mean? So when I'm saying set the current hand location to the pose location, the pose is still down here. You see what I mean? So then it's, the IK bit is up there. So when I move and it's saying, okay, current hand location. Oh yeah, well to be fair, there is no interp back, is there? Because target hand location is just okay, we got to think about how we do this. We got to think about how we do this basically. We got to do this differently. So, because then the target hand location should be the position in the pose. So trace hits, target hand location is the place on the wall. Trace doesn't hit, target hand location needs to be the position of the bones, and that's what we interp to. And then the current location. But basically the current location that we're IKing to needs to move with, like, if it's on there, it's from the pose, and it now needs to move up to the thing. When the hand moves away from the pose, it now needs to move away slowly from that target back to the pose thing. So basically, I think if the trace is hitting, we need to interp. Yeah, so basically, if the trace hits, we need to interp from. Yeah, that's the example. So the trace doesn't hit. So when the trace doesn't hit, nothing happens. So when the trace doesn't hit, we also need to interp from. If the trace doesn't hit, we can't just snap back and set the rotation back. We need to. Yeah. I don't think using IK bones is the right way to do this. I don't think using IK bones is the right way. I think the way to do this is we use controls, and then we interp between so then we set the control to that point, and then we interp between the current. We move the control basically between, if it hits the current pose, which is that, and then the hit target location. If it doesn't hit, that means when it stopped hitting, we need to basically interp between wherever that bone is. It will do, but we'll have to adjust that. But yeah, I don't think we set the hand location to the pose. The control location to the pose, sorry. I don't think we set the control location to the pose. I think we just have the control, but we need to, because it needs to move that it was. That's what it is. Unless we say, if it does hit, we set the control location, that right hand current location, to that location, or the control location to the hand pose, and then we interp between where it hits. Cool, fine. Now, if it doesn't hit, we don't set the current location. Then it almost needs to be like hand on wall or something like that. Let me say, then if it doesn't hit, we need to set the current. So then if it doesn't hit, we need to get the current. No, I know I do. I'd be like this, but then I need to get that interpolation away from the wall, because I can get it to the wall, but I need to get it away from the wall so that I can then go back to the wall. I'm just thinking thinking through it logically. So we walk up to the wall. We need to set the current location now to the pose location. So we do our trace. We set the current location to where we are in the pose, and the target location to where the trace hits. We then interpolate between the two. It's now going to go to that. Now, when we're no longer hitting the wall, we need to say our target current location so our current location needs to almost be the target. Do you see what I mean? It almost needs to be like the target location, the previous target, and then the new target location is Yeah, and then the new target location is that of the pose. So okay, hold on. So then we say current location is equal to that. Get the pose. Okay, so when it hits, let's just break this down. When it hits, we set the current location to the hand pose. We get that. We set that to the current location. All cool. We then interpolate between the current and the target, which is determined by the trace before. Okay. To the current and target, which is determined by the trace before. And then let's set the new current location. Okay, the new current location is where that target is, which is correct. So the new current location is where that target is. Cool. Now, so we have our new current location, our new target location. Now it's going to trace again. If you say, okay, now if it doesn't hit, okay, so if this is false, so let me all this crap away. So it's saying now, okay, if this doesn't hit, so it's false. Now we've done our trace, now we don't hit, but because it's previously run, our target location is where the previous one is, our current location is where the previous target is. We now need to say, okay, set the target location to the position in the pose. To the position in the pose, and then we interpolate between those values. And we set our current location. And we set our current location again now to our new target location. Which is now going to be the position in the pose. You see me? So we're saying, okay, so if the trace, we do the trace, if it doesn't hit, if the trace doesn't hit, we're going to say, okay, the target location is going to be the pose position. Okay? Then we're going to interpolate between the target location and the current location. And then we'll set the current location to the target location. So if the target location is the pose and we're currently in the pose, interpolate, it's already there, wouldn't do anything. At least I hope. And we don't touch the rotation. We don't touch the rotation. This can rotate the hand. That's fine. So we're saying here, okay, we do our trace. Is it hitting? Yeah, okay, cool. Our current location is where we are in the pose. Our new target location, so we do our trace. It now hits. The current location, okay, where we are on the pose. Target location is where we've hit on the wall. Interpolate between the two. Then, now our new current location is that target point. And we keep doing that. Are we hitting? Yeah, where's our target? Move to that. So if our target moves because of the move, we interpolate between that as well. We interpolate between those points. That's fine. So if it moves over here, we'll go like this. Fine. So now, if we are no longer hitting the wall, our aim is no longer hitting wall. Hit is now false. We set our target location, because the current location is still up here. Set our target location to the pose. Interpolate between the two. Set that to... Okay, that's interesting. Let's see how that behaves. Yeah, do you see? Yeah, it's that initial, because it's going towards the pose. Now, if I go away, what the hell is going on? Yeah, no, we can't no, this won't work because it can't help the Can't interpolate the yeah, no, we should never interpolate the yeah, we should never ever interpolate the yeah, we should never ever interpolate the current pose with it, because if it doesn't hit, it's doing this interpolation constantly, so that's not right. Need to rethink this. What's this accumulator? It's just a nightmare. Wait a second. It's too high up as well. The hardest part about debugging this, and it's really causing me issues, is that I can't actually see, and it's a big problem that we actually need to fix, because not even fix, but it's with Unreal, and it's causing me some serious issues now, especially with stuff like this. I can't see any of this. You see how this square, basically, when it hits in the world, I should be able to see it turn green. I should be able to see all this line, but I can't see it in the editor because it doesn't work, and I don't know why. So yeah, the behavior of it is off, and because the behavior is off, I can't see it like working. In UE5 at least. So because I can't see any debug stuff, I don't know what the normals are doing. I can't see what the normals are doing. So I don't know if the normals, I would be like, oh, just draw the normal, like draw a line from the position or the normal, like times by 50 or whatever. So that I can see where the normal is and see how things are rotating and whatnot. But I can't see anything. So I'm just kind of hoping it behaves how I want it to behave. And if it doesn't, trying to think, okay, this probably is why. This interpolate stuff though is giving me issues. man. To be fair, it's quite high up. Might take a break in a bit. It's not working how I want it to. Mm. No, I want to keep it leaning against the wall. I think it's quite cool when you're resting and leaning against the wall. Um, Basically, what I think I might need to do is rather than interpret the target locations and having that always on. Only turn that high hand decay thing on when there is a collision. So actually be like when the capsule is like when there is a like the arms are colliding. So you know, see how I got it here. It's capsule collide. That's just always true. I want to basically be like, when the arms are colliding, then do it. I think that's probably the best bet. Do a trace and be like, okay, are the arms now colliding, and then blend that value. Okay, I want to take a break because not getting anywhere right. My brain's a bit scrambled, you know. I'm quite hungry, so I'll take a break. I'll be back later. I'll be back in like an hour or two. Might go gym, flush my frustrations out, and come back. And then yeah, we're gonna just carry on. Really need to get this that movement there and back done today. So yeah. All right, guys.